Murder. They call it murder, though I know better. I know what I did. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It would have been nearly a year ago now. Strange how time drags by. I was a senior in high school. Sure, I had plenty of friends. Though when you have enough friends, there's bound to be troubles eventually, right? It's high school, for God's sakes. Right, again, off topic. We'll get right down to it then. Steph was new to our school, and my group of friends decided to show her the ropes and help her out a little bit. She always was funny, and everyone seemed to like her. She was smart, witty, and always had something to say. Well, I admit, she always came off as a little odd to me. I didn't have a reason, but being a girl, I decided I didn't need a reason to dislike someone. She really seemed ruder to me than the rest of my friends, and so I returned the favor, though we never really confronted each other about it. Then Erin decided to interfere. She was always good at the social stuff. She could see through our little game, so she was the one who really started it. She asked what our deal was, and I said, I just don't like Steph. I thought it was a simple enough statement, but by the end of the day, it was open war. Sides were being picked, and I was getting all sorts of gossip, and the problem was, even though I'd been around longer, most of my friends were picking her side. I just wanted it to end. So in a show of good faith, I asked Steph to go with me to Six Flags. Just her and me, to apologize, and maybe start a real friendship, right? It got all the gossip and sniping off my back when she finally agreed. So we went. I picked her up in the morning, and we were going to spend the whole day just playing games and riding rides. As we started the day, Steph really wanted to go on the Superman, you know, the huge roller coaster with the enormous drop at the beginning. I told her I didn't really like drops that big, and I wasn't into the whole roller coaster thing. I mean, little ones I can do, but the Superman just was not something I was really comfortable with. So we went on the other things. The Scream, Teacups, Scrambler, bumper cars, you name it, we went on it. It was just that, you know, I mean, we were having a good time, though she kept asking to go on the Superman. All day it was about that ride. I could tell she really wanted to go on it. She said she'd never gone to Six Flags before, and it was the one ride everyone said you had to go on. I agreed, but it just wasn't something I really wanted to do. The park was almost to close, and so she brought it up one last time. But she brought up the whole thing about me disliking her, and obviously I caved. So we got in line for the last ride of the day. Got prime spots right in front. My heart was doing backflips as the ride started to move. The small bar and seat belts was just not very convincing to keep me in my seat. I clung to the bar in front of us as we went up the incline. Steph was all energy, not afraid at all. She held her hands up the whole time as we crested the top. I closed my eyes a moment, but couldn't help peeking when the ride seemed to take forever to get over the bump. I opened my eyes to see straight down into the black, misty tunnel that we were going to enter after the fall. I started screaming, as did Steph. As the wind whipped through my hair and pulled my face back from my skull, I saw Steph falling. Quickly, I reached out to drag her back. There was a flash, and she was falling to the earth as I was flying down the train tracks to hell. When the ride stopped, security was surrounding the place, and cops weren't far behind them. I sat with my empty seat next to me, body shaking in shock. Steph must have been dead. No one could live from a fall from that height, unless, of course, you were stuck into the cart seat. Weakly, the police dragged me out of the cart and questioned me. They showed me the picture that was taken as we went down the roller coaster. That explained the flash. My hands were on her back as she was falling. It looked bad, really bad. It looked like I had pushed her. The police took me in for further questioning. The case was that I had unbuckled Steph's seatbelt and pushed her out as she held her hands up, and gravity did the rest of the work for me. My so-called friends testified that I had had a fight with Steph at school only the previous day, so I'm here. But I'll tell you the truth. I didn't push her. Our dislike for one another was much deeper than she would have ever said. It was her plan to make me the bad guy and guilt me into taking her to the amusement park. Our parents worked in the same company, and we got discount tickets. She knew it all. Apparently, she had been moved to our school because she was suicidal. and needed to get away from the other students. I was her target from the beginning. As I was looking down into the tunnel, I noticed Steph's hands were no longer up, but down, though she popped them back up quickly. When her family testified, they said that Steph had been to Six Flags every summer, and the Superman was her favorite ride. She'd been on it at least a dozen times. She knew exactly where the camera would be. She knew exactly how long it would take to do everything. She planned her own suicide to frame me for murder. That's my story. Though the picture was enough evidence to sway the jury, I'm innocent of murder, only guilty of falling into her trap. But you can go, I suppose. I'll just, stay here and rot away, just like she wanted. Steph.
What bitches?